Hello everyone, my name is Guille J, this is my channel, The Blue Jay, and welcome back to my channel. First of all, I wanted to thank everyone who stopped by my first video, the review of House of Chains from the Malazan Book of the Fallen, and I loved all of the comments that I received. Thank you so much for all the support, for viewing the video, for subscribing, for liking the video. And yeah, I know my thoughts might might seem really wild, and my reviews are going to be a kind of stream of consciousness type of review. I'm a very emotional person, and so yeah, my thoughts might seem a bit messy sometimes, but that's just how I am and how I intend to review this series, because that was my impression of when I was reading this series, because Malazan is a mind-blowing kind of series. So yeah, that's kind of how I intend to do it. But thank you so much for all of the comments that I received over the last couple of days. I wasn't expecting anyone to watch the video, so it was a delight to see the response that I got. And as you can see, my setting has changed completely, and that's because I normally live in the Canary Islands in Spain, but just yesterday I moved back to Copenhagen in Denmark because I'm doing a master's degree here. So that's why my setting has changed completely. And before diving straight into this video, I just wanted to give a huge shout out to all of the amazing booktubers online. It's such a good moment to be part of this Malazan fanbase, because all of the content that so many booktubers have been uploading, I just wanted to give a shout out to some of them, like Valestad Books, your reviews are amazing. Philip Chase, his conversations with AP are really good. Andy Smith, obviously Iskar Jarak, Graceless Passion, Claudia Ivanovici, sorry if I said that wrong, Books Rebound, Neil Frog, and Rutham Bad. I have some of them named here, but I'm probably missing a lot of them. But I just wanted to give all of you a huge thank you, because it's just really entertaining to be part of this fan base right now, and I feel really lucky, so thank you so much. And so, one of these booktubers named Counsellor of Moon Spawn, really cool name by the way, started this Malazan reader tag just recently. I think it was around December. I know I'm really late to the party, but since the other day I uploaded my first video on this channel, the House of Chains review, and I didn't really introduce myself in any way, and probably many people were confused why I'm reviewing this series and why I like it and all these kind of things. So I decided to do this reader tag. So I know it's better late than never, so here I am, and we're gonna go straight into this reader tag. Okay, first question. How did you find out about Malazan? Okay, so around a year and a half ago, I was looking online for fantasy series that could be kind of similar to A Song of Ice and Fire, which is my favorite, it has always been my favorite series of all time. So yeah, I was looking online, and I was looking for that kind of series that had greyish characters, no clear villains, no clear heroes, a bit grimdark, that had some elements of political action. And so I was looking online, and I stumbled upon I don't know why I stumbled upon series like Name of the Wind, Stormlight Archive, but I started those and it was okay, but I didn't continue with them really. And then in the end, I was in the dilemma between choosing between Black Company or Malazan, and I decided to go for Malazan. And yeah, then after that I started reading it, and it has become my new favorite series of all time, surpassing A Song of Ice and Fire. Question 2. So, describe your experience reading Malazan for the first time. So, just to make sure, I've only read the first 4 books. I'm in book 5 right now, so I haven't read the full series yet, but I plan to do it. Reading those first 5 books, or 4 books, I must say that I started the series really scared, because so many people were freaking me out about Malazan being the most difficult series you will ever read in your life, And, people got me really, really anxious, I must say. And, I'm not the most advanced reader. I don't pay close attention to every detail. And I haven't been reading fantasy for that long. And I can tell you that all those people that are scaring readers off are completely wrong. You can read Malazan and not know almost anything about fantasy, or, you don't have to pay attention to every minor detail, and you'll do fine. You'll do fine because it's an amazing series and it just grabs you from the very beginning. I can understand that it can be a series that it's not for everyone because it's special, special things are not for everyone. But those people are completely wrong. And I have to say that when I started reading it, Gardens of the Moon, I was just thrown out into the Siege of Pale and I was just lost, I have to say. But being lost in the beginning of the book at the same time is normal. So I was just enjoying the ride, and everything that happened in Gardens of the Moon I loved. I have to say I enjoyed it. I enjoyed Gardens of the Moon. Then Dead House Gates, everything became much more easier because, Erikson as a writer changed a lot between Gardens of the Moon and the rest of the books. So I would obviously say if a new reader, for example, doesn't enjoy Gardens of the Moon, they should at least keep on going on Dead House Gates and see if Dead House Gates, if it's for them, because I think that's where a lot of people actually appreciate Erikson as a writer, from Dead House Gates onwards. So yeah, but Gardens of the Moon, I loved it. My experience reading the first 4 books in general has been amazing. I mean, it has become, in 4 books, my favorite series of all time. So yeah. So question 3. When did you realize this series was going to be an all-time favorite? So, although I enjoyed a lot Gardens of the Moon, I wouldn't say that that was a moment where I knew that it was going to be my all-time favorite series, because I enjoyed it. We were thrown into the action from the very beginning, and I enjoyed Gardens of the Moon a lot. I enjoyed it, but it wasn't the moment, I would say. I would say it's probably, it has to be the ending of Dead House Gates, because, The Chain of Dogs will forever stay close to my heart. It broke me completely. So, yeah, it has to be that. I started reading the last couple of 100 pages of Dead House Gates at 12 in the evening. And then I continued reading for the whole day until it was 4 in the morning. And I was just reading the last couple of 100 pages because I was just so hooked to the ending of the book. And yeah, I was just crying there, and that was the moment, I would say, that made me fall in love so much with the series. And I bought Memories of Ice on Amazon that same night, and I started reading it the same day because I wanted more about Malazan so badly. Question 4. What is your favorite aspect of the series? This is a very difficult question because I love a lot of things about Malazan. I love the world building. I love how, how there's so many layers to this story. There's the amazing geographic locations, which I love. I love all of the name places, and I love all of the cultures, all of the races, civilizations. I love the traditions in the story. I love the magic also. I'm in love with the whole series, so it's really difficult to choose. But if I had to choose one thing, I think it's the games of power, because what I love about this series is that anyone, no matter how small, no matter how insignificant the character may seem, any character can have such a powerful and impactful effect on the rest of the characters and the rest of the world. It's just so amazing to see how any character, men or women, can have such a vast, effect, because we normally see in traditional fantasy how only the powerful people from the very beginning, or some minor characters who might start being not very powerful, but after a whole, huge development, might actually end up having a lot of power. or how some character may need a special sword or a special something to gain power. I love how in this series, anyone from any moment in time, unexpectedly, can have, you know, tremendous implications on the whole series. So I would say that the games of power and how everything changes from one moment to the next is my favorite aspect of the series. Question 5. Nothing is truly perfect. Share a little gripe you have with Malazan. This is funny because at the beginning, when I first started reading Madison, I thought that my gripe was going to be the whole kind of magical system. Because one of the reasons why I loved A Song of Ice and Fire was that it didn't have many magical elements apart from, like, obviously the obvious kind of dragons and White Walkers and all that kind of thing. But it didn't have, you know, huge magical elements. And at the beginning, when I started reading this, everybody was telling me that it had a lot of magic in many ways. Warrens, magical swords, enormous kind of hounds, floating mountains. So, you know, I was a bit afraid about starting it because I wasn't sure if I was going to like it. But I have to say that the way that so many magical elements are introduced in a very kind of mysterious way. Like, for example, warrens. I don't think characters even know how warrens work entirely, you know? And so that kind of element of mystery that surrounds kind of the whole magic things is, you know, really appealing to me. And I've learned to love magic and how it's, you know, introduced into this world. But I would say that my biggest gripe, for sure, is that, and I know a lot of booktubers have said this online, and it's that sometimes I might be reading a paragraph or a new chapter, and I have no idea who this person is until the name is dropped, maybe, I don't know, 10 paragraphs after that, or, you know, or 3 pages after. So it's sometimes a bit confusing to read that way, because I would read the beginning of the chapter, find the name of the character, and then go back and read it again, which it sometimes helps, because then on the reread, I kind of, you know, figure out things I had not spotted before. So at the same time, it might also help me to understand the series better. But I would say that's my only little gripe that I have with the series. So the 6th question is, what are your favorite and least favorite installments? So this is really difficult because Gardens of the Moon introduced me to the whole Malazan world. Dead House Gates has the chain of dogs. Memories of Ice is just Memories of Ice. It's, you know, grandiose. And House of Chains, actually, when I was reading it, I thought I would not liked it because many people rank it as one of the worst Malazan books, but it surprised me completely, and it introduced me to my favorite character, Karsa Orlon. And I have to say that after reading the first couple of chapters of Midnight Tides, I am already feeling that it's going to be one of my favorites. So it's really difficult to choose. I would say that my least favorite is Gardens of the Moon, because I wasn't yet fully invested into all of the characters. I was just introduced to them, so I didn't feel that emotional connection that I now feel with most of them. And then the other ones, I'm really unsure. I mean, I'm inclined to say Memories of Ice because I enjoyed it the whole book all the time. I was just so invested into all of the book. I couldn't stop reading any day. And then on the other hand, like, House of Chains surprised me so much. But I would say Memories of Ice. I mean, the whole Capustan siege, Coral, everything is just, you know, it's amazing. I mean, so I would say Memories of Ice, I have to say, yeah. So, question 7. How many times have you read the series? So, I've only read the series 1 time, and not even the full series, because I'm still in book 5. So, I'm a baby beginner. But I have to say that actually some parts and some sections and some chapters of the Malazan world I've read maybe 20 times. The Chain of Dogs, some parts of Memories of Ice, book 1 of House of Chains. So yeah, I mean, some parts I've read a couple of times, I have to say. Question 8. Besides Malazan Book of the Fallen, what other series from the Malazan world have you read? So, I haven't really read any of the others. I want to read first the Malazan Book of the Fallen. I'm in book 5, and then I plan on reading everything that is related to the Malazan world because I am fully invested into this world. I think it's, you know, it's my favorite series of all time. So I want to read everything that is gonna be published. And I feel that one of the other kind of series that I will really, really enjoy is the book that is gonna be released probably this year, The God Is Not Willing. So I'm really, really looking forward to that book, especially. Question 9. What are your reading interests beyond Malazan? So, although I love the fantasy genre, I'm relatively new because I haven't read that much, really. I've read the Stormlight Archive, The Name of the Wind, The First Law. Now I'm reading Malazan, but I haven't really read that much. I have to say I'm relatively new to reading in general, like sitting down and reading a book. I haven't read that much, really. I love everything to do with horror, mystery, even like marketing, because I love marketing. So I'm used to reading articles at university and all that kind of thing. So that's more or less what I've read in my life, really. And the last question, question 10, and my favorite question from this reader tag. So thank you, Counsellor of Moon Spawn, for this. What advice would you give to a first-time reader? So I am a first-time reader, and I have my advice really, really clear to myself and to all of the people that are going to start this series, and it is don't read anything that they say online about this series, because I got scared so much when I started reading the series. Everybody was freaking me out about it being impossible to start, about all of the characters being the same, no characterization, there wasn't going to be any epic battle scenes. I mean, those people haven't read the series, I'm sure of it. And what I would say is, you know, enjoy the ride. Enjoy the ride. Sometimes I felt that in, for example, Guardians of the Moon, I was waiting after chapter 2, The Siege of Pale, I was waiting for that final, you know, epic scene. And sometimes I felt like I wasn't really enjoying the ride. I was enjoying the journey. So I would say that, you know, just enjoy it. Enjoy the places you visit every time. Enjoy even the most, you know, minor conversations between characters, because those, I feel, are the most beautiful aspects of this series. Enjoy everything, and, you know, you're not going to understand anything at the beginning. You might understand really minor things, but when you start, you know, puzzling everything together and creating this beautiful, you know, tapestry that is the Malazan world, and I don't know, like in the end, I'm sure, like me, you'll end up loving this series, because I'm really not the most experienced reader, and even I have managed to, you know, puzzle some things, maybe like 10% of the whole kind of series, but, you know, even that, I'm really happy. And one of the beauties of this series is that you can reread it and reread it and reread it many times, and you'll find new things every time. So, you know, it's like finding small diamonds while mining. So yeah, just enjoy the ride, and don't expect to understand everything from the very beginning. And yeah, that is gonna be it for now. Thank you so much to anyone and to everyone who has clicked on this video, and I really appreciate if you have any comments that you wanna start the conversation on. Anything, I'm really happy always to talk about Malazan. So thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next video.